We're live.
Ooh, it's an Elsewhere podcast.
I can't ever. I laugh at that every time. I'm Kat. That's Skulls.
Hi.
And Hillbilly Reacts is on here too.
How's it going?
I just forgot what I was doing. Hold on. Real professional here, y'all. Got it down. Hold on.
So we're going to talk about some important issues.
Well, I think they are, sort of.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, they are.
It's actually one of the most important things that a lot of us actually deal with all the time. We see it all the time, whether it happens to us, around us, or about us. The topic that we're discussing today is going to be censorship. Censorship, canceling, forced, like YouTube context, stuff like that. The effect that it has on us, on content, on, whether it's targeted or whether it's just a sweeping gesture, anything of that nature. So, hi everybody, I see you guys in there. Roll call. Hi, hi Mom.
Mama Cat, what up?
Mommy's here.
I didn't even see her.
Yeah, she's there. Love you, Mommy.
Hey, Nick's here too. Truth is here. Hey.
Hey, Cat, I want to be your baby mama. I don't know how that works.
Oh.
He's talking about this whole side
should
piece.
Have done a Valentine's Day one, apparently.
Thanks, Minnow. Appreciate you. Hey, Bowser. I see everybody in there. I was going to name everybody off, but I actually just wanted to say what I want to say first, and then we're going to get into the conversation. And I don't usually do this. I'm just going to make a statement explaining where my take is, where my perspective on this whole situation, on this whole, not you specifically, Hillbilly, but like in general. I hope it brings some context into like things that I say. Skulls read it through. I think he agrees with me on most points, if not exact wording. I mean, it does, this is coming from me. I believe everybody's got a right to speak their mind. We're supposed to be considerate, intelligent. We're supposed to be respectful. We're human beings. If it's within the context of where you are, like if you're in church, I don't think you need to stand there cussing everybody out. That's not within context of the venue in which you're in my opinion. So as long as you use common sense, there's a few basic issues. Not everyone has to agree with you. It's okay not to like or agree with what someone is saying. Number two, you do not have the right to try to force your opinion on anyone else. But by the way, that also includes waiving facts and saying, hey, I have proof, this is a fact, and demanding that they pay attention to you. So I don't think anyone has the right to do that. If they don't like your opinion, well, get over it. Number three, you don't have to agree with me for me to support your right to say what you want. However, I don't have to listen either. So people who are against blocking, rude, and they say you can't block anybody if they say something nasty and hateful. Bullshit. It's like, yes, you can. You can, absolutely. I don't think people should be spreading the vile, disgusting, trolly mess. I support cutting negative people out of my life, of, the content, things of that nature. If you're going to be nasty in the comments, if you're going to be nasty in the live, bye-bye. And then one of the most important things is fighting against the censorship of free speech doesn't mean, in return, being a hypocrite and silencing other people. So it's kind of an all or nothing argument. You can't demand that everybody gets to speak their minds, and yet they get to do, and yet we're doing exactly what we speak against, and silence and censor those people that we don't agree with. Now, the exception here is if your comments, content, opinions include kids, exploitation of them, the abuse of other people, call for violence, or wishing any type of vile disgustingness, death, dismemberment, nastiness on anyone else, you just need to shut up. And if that's what you support, I will not support you. That's my personal context of this whole conversation. I know that sometimes this subject gets heated. That applies to the channel, the Discord, and me as a person. So now that that's done, my speech is out of the way, we can continue.
It's a good speech. I agree
Yeah.
with pretty much all of it.
Yeah, same here.
I just figured, honestly, it'd be easier to kind of put that in the front so that in the middle, instead of, well, what about, well, what about, so you already kind of know my stand on it. So, if you're like, well, what about people that don't like something on the far left or the far right and they're the opposite? Well, it applies across the board. Like, so it kind of explains ahead of time and cuts out maybe some of that, those questions.
Yeah, it lays out the principles of like everything, and that we don't think that it's right on either side. It's like you can't be mad at cancel culture for doing something, and then you then be like, oh, you should cancel Whoopi Goldberg. It's like that pisses me off too. It's like, no, it's like have a backbone, be consistent, and don't play at the game. You either are against it or you're for it. And even when you try to cancel people that you don't agree with, um like regardless of what side you are, it's like you can't weaponize it. You can't weaponize it to your own thing. This is just a weapon.
No, it really is. And it's the act of forcing someone's opinion, or we could get into that in a little bit, whose agenda, whose thought process, whose decision it is, who has the right to make that decision. That's all later. But to force someone to agree with you, right, by either shutting them up or, you know, removing them being able to say, well, if I'm trying to talk to my mom, let's just say, about something that her and I want to talk about, and my daughter doesn't like it, and then her telling me, you're not allowed to speak because I don't like what you're saying. Well, I'm not talking to you. You don't like it, then you could go to your room. Like, bye-bye. So that whole thing, like, you either are for it or against it. I don't think it's well, in certain circumstances, I gave my specific, funny mom, she sent me to my room again. My specific opinions. There are certain subjects that I don't care who you are, I don't care what background you have, left, right, upside down, sideways. You talk about those things, you call for those things, you disgust me, and I'm not going to listen, and I want nothing to do with you. Aside from that, say what you want in a respectful way. Period.
Moral of the story: don't be a dick.
Pretty much. So you just summed it up.
Yep. Hope I don't get canceled for saying that.
I'm canceling you. You just summed up my entire speech into like a couple words.
Yeah.
You're canceled.
What I do.
Go to your room.
Damn it. I only go to my room if Mama Cat sends me to my room.
Don't threaten her with a good time. She will. She'll be like, go.
Hey.
So, Hillbilly, obviously, this subject comes up, has a lot to do with something that happened to you recently. For anybody that's not aware, Hillbilly Reacts is a huge supporter of other channels. He's always up in the chat saying hi, showing love, showing support. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't get a chance to go through a lot of the content. By the way, you can't right now. You support Upchurch. I'm pretty sure that you're a huge Creek Squad.
Creek Squad, Hangover Gang,
Yeah.
Goon Squad. Pretty much any of the guys that piss off YouTube, I support.
Right. And so what happened, if nobody's aware of what happened, his channel was taken down, deleted, like bye-bye by YouTube.
In the middle of the live.
Yeah.
Like right in the middle of streaming.
So all of his content's gone, his channel's gone, all of his subscribers are gone, and we'll get into his story and kind of what happened with him, and he can explain all of that, and let you guys kind of know what happened from his perspective. And by the way, if you want to subscribe to his new channel, it is in the description below, as is Skull's channel, as is the link to support the stream if you feel froggy, and a disclaimer that's saying we're not PG and we're here to piss you off. That's our job. So anyway.
Hell yeah. My favorite fucking part.
Well, no, I mean, I put that disclaimer because I thought it was a good one. I was like, yes, let's do this.
Well, you gotta shoo away, the flies. Like that's kind of what it is. I mean, we're actually pretty fucking nice people, but people come in. Remember that one dude who was like, "You guys suck, quit."
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Yeah, some people are lame.
We're like, we did our job. Okay. But Hillbilly, if you want to, do you have Anything you want to say about that whole situation, like just like what your channel was about, what you were doing, and kind of like if you had warnings or any of that?
No, I had one copyright strike in the whole time I've had the channel. Um, I had a warning for a community guideline strike for medical misinformation.
Oh,
That was it.
the Kofifi.
Yeah, that was, and what it was a discussion between someone in the chat and me and uh guest I had on talking about our views on why or why not, and that was it.
And so, I mean, if you don't mind saying, what was it taking for down? Well, wow, that sentence was not structured correctly. Let me try that again. What was it taken down for ultimately? Did they tell you?
They said nudity and pornography,
Were
which
you,
was funny because I've never had anything like that on the channel.
were you getting naked on your channel? You weren't.
Uh, no, because nobody want to see that.
So
So,
basically, did
so is
someone
there like
report it or? Sorry, go ahead. Close.
no, is there like a typical way of doing it? Is it like a 3 strikes you're out kind of thing, or like
Well,
because it seems a little weird to go from like one strike and then just you're canceled.
yeah, it was weird because normally, like community guideline and then copyright strikes, they're a little different. Obviously, you don't want a community guideline strike. The copyright thing, it falls off after 90
Just showing
days.
love.
I think the community guideline does too, if I remember right. But it's normally you get the 3 strikes, you're done, they delete your channel, but apparently they can just remove your channel at will.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Truth. He says he donated $10, just showing love. Appreciate you,
Oh,
man. I had my mic off. Sorry.
nice.
Appreciate it. Um, yeah, that's so weird. That's so weird that they can do that. You're thinking like I hate that these platforms are being so they're just covering up transparency, and they're just like, oh, we can just do whatever we want, and it's like
Yeah, they've gotten really bad about that and shutting people down who speak their mind, especially if you have a different view from what is being pushed out there right now.
Now, just
yeah.
out of curiosity, would your normal content when you were doing your lives, did it tend to be a specific type?
No, usually I'd do 2 different lives. I'd have just the reactions, and then I would do lives where I'd throw the link to StreamYard out, and anybody that wanted to pop up, chop it up could, and just have fun. And
No happiness on YouTube.
Yeah, you're not.
no,
Can't have fun on YouTube.
no trolling, no nothing.
Yeah, it's getting
Is it?
worse too. I mean, like even with Twitter and everything, it's. I mean, like the new CEO there. I remember, Kat, you sent me something about the CEO saying of YouTube saying they were going to crack down more and get the government more involved on hate speech and all that.
They just want more specific. From how I read it, they specifically want more regulation, as in enforceable laws. So, in other words, they want the government to step in and say, okay, you can't say anything that goes against this, or you can't say anything that is that, and then have those form into a law so that there's no disputing it, that YouTube can come in, or any platform, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I understand the article was YouTube, but I'm saying this happens everywhere. We all see it everywhere. Facebook's one, a bunch of them, where they come in and they just say, oh, you can't, oh, nope, you're giving them not good health information and you're done. And they can just, boom, they can take it away. You can't dispute it. There's nothing you can do. They're trying to take away any opportunity of fighting it. If that's how I read it, at least.
Yeah, they need to just butt out, dude. Like, just like unless it's like you said, promoting violence or something like that. Like these companies need to just butt the fuck out. They have no
Agreed.
right to do that. I mean, like everyone's page, everyone's channel, whatever it is, it's their spot. and it's their place of business and they can conduct it the way they want. And they just keep taking away more and more rights and hiding behind this, like, oh, this is our social platform. It's like, bro, you're not a publisher. You're just a platform. That's it.
Well, see, and
Well,
I can play the devil's advocate on that just a little bit, and here's why. Here's the problem is that they built up this platform based on free speech and being able to speak your mind, and you get to say what you want, and you get to put content and all that, right? But with the caveat that they get to control it, unfortunately. On the flip side of that, though, how many people attempt to sue them all the time because, for example, they post something up there that people think is disgusting, and so people report it, and it's a problem. So there has to be some regulation on their behalf because they're running a platform, and people are coming at them for people saying nasty things on their content, which to a point I understand, right? Like if somebody's talking about one of the things I listed earlier, for example, in my server, my mods are going to get them. It's not going to happen. So it's not that I don't want you to speak your mind, but there are some things that are just absolutely off limits.
I think if there's an actual law against it, then yeah, take it down. Like if someone's like literally doing a call to violence, yeah, like take it down. Like there's no reason that should be up there. But other than that, and like it should be free game, and it shouldn't be up to them. It should be based on law. It shouldn't be based on however the CEO of YouTube feels that day.
But
You know?
exactly.
do we want them to be more involved though? Do we want the government and the lawmakers to
No,
be more
absolutely
involved?
not.
So there's your sticky rock and a hard place, right? Because
Yeah, but how can they sue people when how can they sue the CEO of YouTube if they don't like what's being said? You know what I mean?
the same way that they
You-
can blame McDonald's because someone had a hot coffee. The same thing because it's hot and you didn't label it hot, like that kind of thing. So either they hire more people and they have to listen in on every single stream and they have to label it and do all that stuff so that. But here's the thing, it's not the people that are fighting to just speak their minds, it's the people that are mad because other people are speaking their minds. That's the problem.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that too. That is the biggest problem. It's like we need to be way more I forget what I was saying.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, no. I cracked a beer and that's what it does.
Yeah, a couple days actually before the channel got pulled down, I had actually contacted YouTube about a super chat that I had received, and the fact that I was only seeing half of it in my analytics. And come to find out, the content creator
Live to
pays
hear more
the
about your
tax on
channel
the whole thing
sounds
to the
great so
government.
far.
Then YouTube takes their portion.
Oh,
And
thank you, Minnow. I
the
appreciate it. Minnow tipped
con-
$10. Love to hear more about your channel. Sounds great so far. I appreciate you.
Thanks,
and
man.
then the content creator also pays the Google Play service fees and Apple service fees. So after that, you only end up seeing maybe half of a super chat.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people use Streamlabs instead, or is that the
Like
same
us.
thing?
Like us.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Yep.
have YouTube super chats turned off. A lot of content creators, reactors, whoever, have the super chats turned off. I'm gonna shout out Nick because he's the first one that I saw that started doing that and was like, yeah, no, because in all honesty, it's like people donate to support the channel, they donate to support the person, they donate to support the content, and then when it's all said and done, especially, and I think the tipping point was a charity stream where people were super chatting, and so people are like, oh yeah, you raised $2,000, but when it comes down to it, after all the fees, you ended up with like less than $1,000, and people are like, well, why didn't you donate more? Well, because that's all that ended up in my account after all that happened. And when people start realizing it, if they are like, well, if I can't super chat, I'm not doing okay, then no one is required to donate. No, I don't ask anyone ever to do that. I know anybody else that I work with or that I, you know, call friends, you know, that are on YouTube, none of them are like, oh, you better or else ever. So if it's somebody wants to, they can. If they can't do it that way, they're not going to be mad at them. Get off my channel, right? It's it's just that greed of, you know, all those extra tacked on fees. But people like to see it when they're watching YouTube. They like to see it pop up and be up at the top, you know, like their name and get there to a point, right? Some people do, not everyone.
That's right.
No, I hear
That is
that. And I mean,
correct.
and YouTube definitely, I mean, like, I guess it's not YouTube. They're just like, you know, it's copyright laws and all that. But like, even that seems like very greedy these days. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not YouTube. It's just YouTube points it out, and then like, if it's a UMG has the copyright on it, then they can make a decision what they want to do in terms of monetization. But it's like, I feel like that's so weirdly greedy because it's like it's free, like for reactors it's free marketing for them.
Yep.
Like, why not let them have their chump change, you know? It's so little anyways. Like, why not just be like, why not just waive it? I don't know, it just seems like really, really petty to me. I get it, it adds up to a lot of money, but like for each individual, if you look at it that way, it seems kind of petty.
Well, then when you think about it, they're getting their most of their revenue from ads, right? They're getting more of their revenue from ads. I'm not talking about creators, I'm talking about the platforms. And I'm saying platforms because we all know this is not just a one platform issue. But the ads are what bring them their revenue. That's what everything is about. That's what all the data mining, it's what everything is for. It's for the ads because that's where their money is. A lot of money. Whether you skip it after 5 seconds, it doesn't matter. The fact you even put your eyeballs on it, that's where their revenue's coming in. So why they have to, you know, why they have to be so strict about it? Well, because people want to be on you. They want to be on YouTube. They want to be on Facebook. They want to be on these platforms because that's where they feel like their audience is. In answer to a question my mother asked earlier, there are other platforms, and a lot of people in this chat know what they are. There's a lot of them out there that you can find all that stuff, and people that actually believe in putting out content without having, you know, the censorship. Or another fun one is the forced context. That's my favorite. That came up recently with, you know, Tom's new video, the New World Order, the forced context disclaimer on like half of people's videos, not all of them, but a lot of them. That was fun.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah,
know,
and even Nick, like Nick brought up a good point where like they don't even mention that they take 30% of it to the people donating.
Fact. Big
Like,
facts.
that's horrible, you know? Like you should know where your money's going. They
yeah.
should let you know where your money's going. And that's gross that they would do that.
Like if
That's
they,
not only
Fact.
greed, that's just again eliminating any kind of transparency between them and the people on their platform.
Madam Red points out something because that was a $500 dono I got from Upchurch, and yeah, I got 245 of it, and actually, it's not even showing in my AdSense, so I don't even know if I'm getting it now
oh, because they, oh, well,
because the channel was removed.
Wow.
see, that's some shady shit right there.
Yeah, yeah, there's no other way to say that. Hey, I earned this money, and then they're like, we'll keep it.
Yeah, it the whole thing is just ridiculous all the way around.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, I think that I don't care, like, right now, the amount of subscribers that we have compared to what you have, compared to what Nick has, compared to what Truth has, compared to what Bowser's here. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here. It's ridiculous. But on the flip side of
Got
that,
some homework from Mr. Skulls just subbed to ya.
aw, double T, double Overlord donated 20. Got some homework from Mr. Skulls. Just scubbed. That's the new word. Sub to you. He just subscribed to you.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
But
Yeah,
no,
sorry if I'm a little out of it this one, guys, but I don't think I explained at the beginning. I'm not feeling my best today, but I really wanted to come on and do this. So I'm toughing it out. And yeah.
I appreciate it really, because I mean, your voice is appreciated here, trust me. We all know who you are. We all know that you are very articulate and intelligent, and it's always fun to have conversations, so.
Exactly.
You can prove me wrong. But
My
no.
articulation.
It's like they also take what I think 45% of the ad revenue, and then the
Oh, do they
rest.
really?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much everything that is able to make money off of YouTube, they take at least 35 or more percent.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess my gripe really isn't with YouTube. Like, I mean, you're right, Kat. Like, they do need to make their money. They're gonna make most of their money off of ad space and ad revenue. But it just seems greedy from the point of view of like other places like people who are copyright and claim and like why not just allow them to make the money and why not I mean it's just free marketing, you know?
Yeah, and to add on to that, why can't we share revenue? Because
Yeah.
there's quite a few claims I've gotten where they shared the revenue. It's like, why
Yeah,
can't
I
everybody
got
do
a
that?
couple too.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think that's just chalked up to just greed. There's really no good reason for that. But I mean, at the same time, it's their stuff. They can do what they want with it. But um, I don't know. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I just think that, there's already enough hits coming from different sides, people that are like, ugh, reactors. And then on the flip side of it, there's also, react to our stuff, right? But, oh, don't make a conversation out of it. Oh, don't say what you want to say. Because if you say anything that isn't, what's it called? If it doesn't fit, which we always say fit the narrative, right? If it doesn't fit the current narrative, whatever that may be, then then you get some people will jump on and they will report the channel. Some people are mad because you told them, dude, don't be a troll and get out of here, and so they go report the channel just because they're jerks. Or, I mean, please hit the dislike button. I mean, I still helps the channel, so more power to you.
I mean, well, that's like why they need to look into it. I mean, Hillbilly just said that his channel was technically deleted for pornography and being nude, and it's like that didn't happen. So why didn't they do their research? You know?
Yeah, they denied me 3 times so far
Yeah,
on
but I mean,
appeals,
it's
so
clear as day that it didn't happen. Yet they're
yeah.
still not allowing you to have your channel back.
I
That's
even told them I gave them 3 names to look at for possibilities of repeated, you know, um, what's the word? Reporting,
yeah.
and, yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, I feel like it's sort of like going to HR with a problem. They're like, "Well, it's actually easier to just get rid of you, so let's just fire you." And that solves our problem.
Yeah, that's about what it feels like, yeah.
But I mean, on top of that, it's the fact is that, and I was like, I'd find another site. Here's the problem. I'll tell you what the problem is. If you're gonna go look up something, if you're gonna look for, if you're gonna look for some kind of platform where you can say what you want, do what you want, blah blah blah. If you want to go look for a video, if you want to go look up DIY videos, okay, we're not talking about TikTok because I don't TikTok. I don't do all that, but
You don't tick the talk.
I
George, the
don't.
best mods on. Thank you for all you do.
I love that.
You are
I'm
greatly
ticking the
appreciated
talk.
by
Willie,
many.
come on now, man.
Why? What did he say?
Willie and Aaron just donated $100 to one of the best mods on YouTube. Thank you for all that you do. It's talking while I'm talking. Sorry. You're greatly appreciated by many.
Oh man, that's so nice.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much for that. I appreciate you.
Cat is the best mod.
I can't. He did that on.
Joke.
I'm reading the chat now. I see he did it on purpose. I can't even think of what I was saying. Y'all talk. I don't even know what I was saying.
I always say she's got cyber arms because she's everywhere.
I'm not everywhere.
I mean, there was a point where you were everywhere.
Oh my
I
God, yeah.
called you Dr. Manhattan. But I'll continue to call you that. You're just everywhere. I mean, Dr. Manhattan was, banging his girlfriend in one room while doing the dishes in the other. Like, fucking godly.
Well, the whole point is that, and I've actually cut back a whole, y'all know that, I've cut back a lot, is just sticking by people that I support and that, I want to help out, that I want to see do well in any way that I can. And if that was volunteering my time, maybe I don't have the money to do anything, but on the flip side of that, what I can do is donate my time. And to me, someone's time means more sometimes than, if personally, like, so if I was going to mod, for example, I mod for Nick. If I'm going to mod for Nick, that to me, that means more to him or to Truth or anyone than me throwing the money, because being there, being present, making sure everything runs smoothly, just helping them out, even if it's not the whole time or part of the time, I feel like means more in that respect of something that I can actually do and I can participate and show my support. So I got involved with it, and then it just kind of went from there, because I would go into chats and people would just mod me for no apparent reason. And I was like, okay, like, what? Because then you feel an obligation.
And kind of piggyback off that, goes off something I heard Flawed say in one of his recent lives, is the monetization, or the donations. That's awesome. It's very much appreciated, but the time, the like, and just being there, giving the watch time, that right there is more appreciated than anything else.
Well, I mean, we appreciate the money too. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, but that side of it though helps the channel grow and become more successful. The money helps you, the
I think
content creator, be able to give more content and time to it. So
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
I think even just like the relationships formed through this. No, it's not just the views, the numbers, and all that, but just like some of the relationships we've formed. I think that's probably the highlight for me.
yeah,
Just like hopping into the Discord and being like, "Yo, what up?" and everyone fucking, we all know each other. Like everyone's active. Or hopping in a live stream and everyone's like, "Yo, what up?" We all know each other. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't put a price tag on that.
No, the community,
no,
I'm always about the community. The community is the best. I mean, in all honesty, the community that, we've formed between these different channels, I'm going to say that the community that we formed between the channels, where, some of us started in one spot, some of us started in another, and then we all met up in the middle. And we all kind of found, I don't want to say like-minded echo chamber type people, but people, that just,
I think we meet at like a principle,
Yes.
like this principle we're talking about, where like we don't like it when the left is trying to cancel the right, and we don't like it when the right's trying to cancel the left. It's like I feel like most people are in our group is like they're principled people. They don't fall victim to double standards. They keep it consistent and they have a backbone, and that's what I really appreciate.
absolutely.
yeah. I think a lot of it, and a lot of it is like finding the people that do have the difference in opinions, but also that we coexist together, knowing, okay, we might have a different in opinion, but we can still be cool and we can still be friends. We don't have to fight about it and try to cancel one another over it.
And see, honestly, like Willie, that's exactly it. I make this speech all the time, is that I believe the number one thing, and hands down, flat out, my opinion on what has gone wrong in the world, right, is the lack of morals, period. Your values, where the values don't hold any weight anymore, or they're not being taught, and then people just kind of just do what they want and then can't understand why people don't like it, because they've never experienced I don't know whether to say the shame or the disappointment or the repercussions via family while they're growing up, for the lack of sticking to those values, those core community, family, all of those different values. And then you could just do whatever you want because you're allowed to. It can just do whatever you like. And then you see over the years the breakdown that this promotes. And it's the lack of values, the lack of morality is actually exemplified by some of these big mainstream artists and the mainstream media and the mainstream shows and all of this stuff who are now kowtowing to people who are throwing a tantrum over you didn't check all the boxes on this show, we're going to cancel you. Oh, I didn't see someone who looks like me. I'm 5'2" and 17 pounds, and I have a hair growing out of my nose. I don't see myself reflected on the TV, therefore I'm going to cancel you. Like, there's oh my god, there's just people, just the tantrums and not saying, look, we need to be respectful as a whole. And the other thing that really screws us up is that these big corporations, these big platforms, they go where the money's at. The money's coming from these mainstream, right? Who make money off of people who want to watch stuff. They put it's like a ripple effect. People don't want to be told what to do. They want to do what they want. They tend to like watching, people act crazy. They want to watch, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever. And they put that on the screen. Everybody goes crazy. Yay. They get the ad revenue, they get the label revenue, they get all this money. They're going to support that. That's what they're going to stand behind. Even if maybe one person on that board doesn't agree, it doesn't matter. It's all about the money. Right? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
Yeah, no. It's like capitalism has replaced like religion, and I'm not saying like like I'm not like the biggest advocate for religion. Like I think but I think having religion in this country and it being a bigger presence, like the country was probably better in terms of morality.
Oh, big time.
Like we do, like I think it's something Ben Shapiro says all the time. Like the whole like it's a social fabric, and that's what's missing. Like in our country, we need that social fabric. We need that thing where we're all on the same page about things, and it's just gone to hell because I think like Hollywood and the music industry, they've been trying to replace God with themselves.
well, when last time
Yeah.
that happened was, you remember when that was? Does anybody know the answer to this question? When did that happen last?
What exactly?
Tower of Babel. Does anybody remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just saying. That's a lot.
I just feel like Hollywood's been trying to make the new gods like Marvel,
Pretty much.
God, I
those are
stopped
the
watching
gods.
that like 15 years ago. I stopped watching any of the Marvel movies. I just don't. Like, I'm like, okay, it's another one. Who?
It's not that they're poorly made or anything by any means, but it's like I can only watch so many superhero movies before I get bored.
Exactly.
Nick's gonna make a T-shirt that says "Make America Agree to Disagree Again."
If you go back to where when right before they took God out of schools, after that is when you started seeing the decline in
Yep.
our society and morals.
No, absolutely, because it's almost like you can see the generationally, you see it trickle down and get worse and worse and worse, because now it's not a core value anymore to have someone to answer to. And now they teach to, you don't answer to anybody, right? You answer to yourself, and your opinions are all that matters. And at some point, people just need to shut up. I don't care what your opinion is, and people don't like when I say that. I don't care what your opinion is. Some things I don't need to explain. I don't need to show proof. I don't need to give you facts. I can just say them because that's how I feel. That's what I think. And that maybe my personal experiences had something to do with that. But bottom line, you can't tell me, well, you can't think that way. Okay. Well, I'll hold my breath until I stop. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not changing how I feel or what I think. There's certain issues in the world that I'm going to have my say on. Like, I'm going to speak what I want to say. I don't have to explain them. And that's the other thing, is that people, it's funny because they require proof if they don't like what you're saying. But then if you don't like what they're saying, they're like, oh, wait, no. Somebody didn't like it. Oh, cancel them. We're done. They're gone. Delete it.
Yeah, and that's why people need to be a little bit more humble and be like, oh, maybe people believe something for a reason, or maybe they just don't have the right information, or like give the benefit of the doubt. Like, there's no reason to get nasty and like just like come out swinging. Just like if like I mean when I hear like something that I don't agree with, or like or I used to talk to people when I used to work at a store in retail. I used to talk to people, and if I didn't really understand the perspective of what they were saying, I would be like, well, why do you think that? Why do you believe that? I'd ask them. I want to know, like I want to know, like I'm sure they have a good reason for believing what they want. That's how I go into it. And that's just how people should be. It's just like people are complicated. People have complicated lives and circumstances. And just like you or anybody else, we're all just trying to figure shit out.
Yep. And like I've taught my kids growing up the whole time is question everything. Question it. If you don't understand it, ask a question.
Yeah.
It's like,
Question it. Don't attack it.
Yeah. Learn to understand it and why they might think that, or why this person thinks that, you think this, and this one thinks this over here. It's like always try to see it from other points of view.
But that's the thing, is that there's a lot of content creators, there's a lot of content out there where people are like, look, this is my opinion, and I'm curious what you think. And you don't have to agree with them, and they are open to people having other opinions. But it's funny because people come swinging through, and they're like, you're a jerk, you're an asshole, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're all these things, right? But it's not even, that's not even what's happening. It's like they pop in, they glance around and go, oh, this is what's going on. And it's like, actually, that's not what's happening. Like, for example, I think, was it Nick that said it earlier? Somebody said something, I'm pretty sure it was Nick. Something about if there's an issue, I have to find it, hold on. Okay.
You can scroll up, we can find it.
I just figured it out. That's my main thing I'd like to see from YouTube. If a strike or something is appealed, it should go under immediate human, capital letters, human review, and a final reason or verdict clearly laid out afterwards, instead of just, nope. Yes, he is pretty low, Kitty.
Is it?
Yeah, and then I mean, like, I get it. There's so many people who make YouTube accounts, but like, how about like you at least provide that service for people who like hit 10,000 subscribers or something like that,
Or me.
Like, make it. Yeah, or 5,000 subscribers. I don't know how many YouTube channels there are exactly, but I get like why if it's a smaller channel, they might not be like, oh, like we just can't prioritize it. Because there's so many other priorities we have, or hire more people. I'm sure they have enough money to actually do that, but
I'll do it.
Who am I to say?
I'll do it.
Don't do that.
I'm ready. Let's go. I'll review them. No problem. Hire me. Don't think I won't.
I don't think after this podcast they're gonna hire you.
Is that any better?
It sounds a little bit louder, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I want to check it out, but I can't. Okay. It's so hard to check the levels when you're actually talking, because like I'll like unmute the podcast and then someone will say something and then I'll be like, oh wait, did they just talk or am I listening to the podcast?
Oh, hold on a second.
Hopefully
No.
that's
I'm about to invite somebody in. Give me a second.
Sure.
Oh, I
Hello,
can't
Jay.
ever find. Ever. I have to
just gonna-
scroll. I'm so sick of scrolling. Oh.
You can always go to intermission too if it's.
All right, we're going to hit an intermission real quick. We'll be right back. Yeah, just like that. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Hello.
Hey, back like a butt crack.
We pulled Just Jen in here.
Hey, I can't believe I missed the story of how he lost his channel. I'm gonna have to like rewind that and hear it, or just I can't even. I'd be in the fetal position.
Well, it was unwarranted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
What's that?
It was unwarranted.
Oh, you know what? I've seen plenty of stuff that should be yanked off of YouTube, but no, it's not. Still there. Still there.
I
So
agree.
It's all gonna be all white.
yeah.
It's all gonna be all
Yep.
white. That
Oh,
was
oh, that was, oh, jeez. Whoops.
See what I did there. I'm sorry, guys. I don't feel good.
Did you guys see that the new trailer that they Showtime put out, the documentary of Everything's Gonna Be All White?
yeah, and they allow that content. Go figure.
Oh yeah, sure will.
Don't you guys know that white people suck, though?
We try.
They do.
We try our very best.
White people suck very, very bad. I'm saying.
Every morning I look at my white face and I'm just like, ugh.
Gross. So gross. No, I'm not white. I'm tan. I'm Italian. I'm tan. So, and if I don't get tan, or if I see myself getting white, I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucking white, and then I'll just like fake bake. I'll spray tan action. It's that white guilt. It's so gross. I don't want it.
Yeah, right? It's just fucking spray paint yourself. Be like, let me get rid of this white guilt.
Yeah, just don't spray paint yourself too dark, because then you're gonna cause all kinds of chaos and stuff.
Well, Jen,
Right.
Don't go
Blackface.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my god, that was fucking. He did a great part in that movie. I'm telling you
Oh,
what, it was very convincing.
Oh yeah, that movie was amazing. Could not
Yeah.
be made today though.
Oh no. You try making something like that today,
Right? No, not until you're right. No.
society would melt down.
What about Django Unchained?
That
You
one I
know-
have to see still.
Oh my god. Even Quentin Tarantino, like he got shredded. Even Jamie Foxx was chastised, and all they had their panties in a bunch because the N-word, and what the bad one. I mean, I think they're both bad. I don't like hearing either one of them, but like they said the bomb, the N bomb, and I think it was something over like 75 times or something in that movie. So people were going all crazy over that, and it was it's a really good movie though. Really good.
Yeah. I mean, with the context in mind, that doesn't bother me. Like I would expect it, but
Yeah,
like if it was
yeah.
a modern film, like taking place like today, it would probably be a bit more like, oh my god, you'd have like a more visceral reaction. But
Well, I
like,
mean,
but it's like, what do you think they think back in the day, 100 years ago? It's like, yeah,
Well,
there's fucking a lot of ignoramuses back then.
oh
that
gosh.
that
You know?
word was actually used towards Irish, Native American, Blacks,
Italians.
Sicilians.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
believe
mean
me.
it was pretty much anybody that was not Nordic descent, I guess, or
Right.
That I did not
so.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should have seen when I was a kid, and we grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, and suburb of Cleveland, and like we as Italians were called like that word, and I didn't know what it was when we were a kid. I'm like, what the hell is that? Because my family didn't say it, you know, and my grandma had to explain to us that Italians had it pretty bad, pretty bad.
yeah. The Irish, Italians, natives, they were treated just as bad. It during that time period, it was really bad. The natives were actually taken from the States and shipped back across the seas to Europe.
Yeah.
they used the slaves back there.
Yeah, yeah. I know that, it's I often tell people like please if like especially with that trailer that we should feel bad for slavery and I'm like I'm not going to fucking feel bad for slavery when my ancestors were slaves too and we weren't even here during the days of slavery. We didn't come till 50 years later, so I don't I'm like I don't
It's also
fucking know.
like it's like if you want me to feel white guilt, if I'm responsible for that, that would make me responsible for like the creation of Amazon too, wouldn't it? Like, so where's my check?
God,
Where's my
Jeff
check?
Jeff
I want
Bezos
me a check,
money.
you
Oh
know?
my
Or
god.
you can just give me shares. I don't care. Whatever it is, like, but seriously, we're gonna like, how come it's only the bad responsibility? How come we just have to take like, how come we're only
Well,
responsible for that?
think of
How
it
come I
this
don't
way.
get paid?
You can also, if you want to take it that way, then that's another one of those don't be a hypocrite. And if you want, whatever the word is, reparations or responsibility from specific, things in the world, right? We can go into history. Let's go. Let's go there. Let's go to,
Yeah.
let's go to where my ancestors, brothers, cousins, father was involved in, being drafted into some, I don't know, something somewhere, some army that was some crusade and they got slaughtered. Like, we could go there if you want to, but the point is that learn from the past, stop dwelling there, stop living there, stop
Yep.
trying to use that as a way to get ahead. That is what it comes off to me, because let's say there was any type of, hell, the Holocaust, come on now. Like, that's
Don't
more,
forget Whoopi Goldberg is back on her fucking seat at the View.
well,
She
I
is
don't watch
back.
that show. I will never,
I
I
don't
haven't watched
either.
it, and I don't think I've ever watched it. I think I watched clips and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, no.
ugh.
That was disgusting what she said. That actually made me mad. I'm like, are
Hey,
you
Jared.
serious?
She said it
Yeah,
twice.
so bad.
She said it twice. She said it once on The View, Stephen Colbert, and then she half-assed apologized with a teleprompter. And it was terrible. And she is fine. But Roseanne, if you're Roseanne, you can tweet whatever. I think what's going on today is absolutely open fucking racism. And it's not okay. If it's not okay for anybody to be racist against one race, it should be not okay for any of it. But it's definitely it's okay, and it's in society's eyes today. It's messed up.
Oh yeah, I get
Because
called racist all the freaking time, and just because of the name I use on YouTube.
oh
It's
Jesus.
Let
like,
me just say something really quick. Jared, appreciate you swinging through. I'm not going to say anything about it, but if anybody wants to send up a prayer on his behalf, please do. I'm going to leave it at that.
Aw.
But he swung by anyway, even though he's taking care of his stuff right now.
Prayers going out to you, Jared. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah. I'm praying for you, dude.
We
Always
love
hit me
Jared.
up, too.
He's always here. He's always around. He's always supporting everybody, and we appreciate it. Really do.
Hell yeah.
Nick says he's a minority in Hollywood. Where's his reparations? But okay, so there's two conversations with this, of course, because you have the people that are pushing for, let's just use the word agenda, because it's easier. I think we're all intelligent enough to know what we're talking about here. When I say
Yep.
agenda, I don't need it described and Wikipedia'd and shit. I'm just saying agenda. So there's an agenda that is a racism agenda, and there's an agenda that is a political agenda. Some of them overlap, right? But like, for example, when it comes to the whole like the YouTube thing, right? They obviously are going where the money's at. They're obviously going with what they feel like is mainstream. I don't know who put those idiots in charge. I'm talking Facebook, I'm talking YouTube, I'm talking everywhere. I think Nova calls them NPCs. They're all NPCs. But by the way, I did try to get her to name her people that like the welcoming people NPCs, just because I thought it'd be funny. But it was too like tongue in cheek. Like, people wouldn't get it if they didn't like watch her stuff enough to know what that meant. That she says
Yeah.
that all the time. Anyway, that would have been really funny. Have the NPCs welcome you into her server, like that would have been great. Anyway, but point being, there's like those two flip sides to it. There's the, where they just take something down for why, but they're not taking other things down. Like, they left that Showtime special, that trailer up, which is despicable. Despicable. But
You know how
it's
many
because
times I
it's,
reported that?
I know everybody that I can think of reported it too. And I know, Skulls was telling me that if you checked the how many views versus how many likes and the comments, because I didn't even bother. I was like, I can't with this. I watched most of it. I ended up watching it. I think Chill Rock reacted to it, and I watched it when he took a look. He was in here earlier, by the way. I didn't shout him out. Hey, Bearcat, I see you too. I see Madam Red. I see all these people, and I feel bad. There's Diesel for not shouting him out, but love you all. Anyway.
I think that it's blatant racism, and I agree with your agenda. It's a basically it's a theory. It is what it is, and it's extremely dividing. And the politicians want nothing more, and the mainstream media, and whether it be Facebook, Twitter, and all of that. They want us all divided. They don't want us to work together, because once we stand united, their agenda goes down the toilet.
They're done,
And
yeah.
right, and
Well,
people are
remember
not
when they
that's
were
not
saying
sinking
that
in.
anybody that was like a millennial was never going to
Oh, Jesus.
purchase any. Well, no, just hear me out. They weren't going to purchase anything. Like, they're not going to purchase a backpack. This is on Shark Tank like a billion different times. So if it's a backpack, but it has a story, it's a flip flop, but it has a story. Like, they didn't purchase anything. It wasn't anybody that I knew, but in general, supposedly that's a thing. I know I don't have the money to throw around and like be choosy. I go to Walmart or like dollar store, but like it had to have a story, because you have to like help get clean water. Now, I'm not saying clean water's bad. My point is, in order to buy something, it had to have a story and like help someone else. Like, that's a thing. It has now distorted into this disgusting like, where, okay, well, we don't have enough products that help enough people. We can't help the whales and the turtles and stuff. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take someone we think is being oppressed in some way, and now we're going to run with that. And so then they just donate their money there, and then those groups become larger because of all the funding that they're getting from their stories of whatever they may be, from those 4 people that really did need it in the beginning, to this huge thing where now they're helping every single person under the sun, like the 1 or 2 people that did get shot by police, that they had this thing they were doing, and now all of a sudden anyone looks at me sideways and we're coming at you because our movement is so huge. It's just they've distorted and warped it into this disgusting thing. And
Black Lives Matter? Is that what you're talking about?
well, I mean, I know there's more than just that. Mothers Against Drunk Drivers is a really good cause, for example. But there's another one, and I can't think of the name right now, that is kind of really close to that. But it came off of someone that's child died, and then all of a sudden now anybody that ever does this, that, or the other, if they ever have a DUI, they like stalk them and they do crazy stuff. Just
Dude, I've had 2 DUIs in my life. I was pulled over in a gas station both times. Like, I was deserving of one because I was using drugs and taking my prescription medication. I shouldn't have been driving. I'm lucky that they pulled me over right down the street. I'm lucky I didn't hurt anybody. But fuck, that was a mistake. People make mistakes, and they have to learn from the errors of their ways. And that's the only way some people learn. Like me, I haven't gotten even a speeding ticket since I've been out of prison.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
knock on wood.
that's how we learn though, as people, is by making those mistakes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody is perfect. Like, people who judge, it's like, man, if you better not even be like, your side of the street better be spotless before you come over here to mine and start bitching up a storm how mine looks. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but like with BLM, I used to think it was a great cause, a grassroots movement. It was, great cause. And then, like, where's all, then it turned out to be, they showed their true colors, how they want to kill white people and get away with it. And I'm like, and that's okay. You can tweet that, but not get shut down for that. Wait a minute here. Roseanne can say something, not even, I'm not excusing what she said at all, but she can be canceled for just that, and her fired and everything else. But these people can say they want to kill white people, and that's okay. They're against the nuclear family, and every penny that they've raised for Trayvon Martin's family, Breonna Taylor's family, George Floyd's family, they didn't get a goddamn dime.
Nope, all
Them
went to Democratic Party.
and the leaders of BLM are driving around what were they driving, Bentleys, like on the people's dime that donated for those people who were killed. and that's fucked up to me. Like, whoa. So they're under a big investigation right now, and I hope to hell they see they go to prison. They don't see the light of day for scamming people and keeping up with this racial divide. Have you guys ever seen those two black women that took it upon themselves to pour paint all over the street? There was a BLM like
Oh, yeah, yeah. It was right outside Trump Tower, right?
yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Them ladies are getting and there's two ladies, they're preachers and they're amazing. I forget what their name, Beverly and something. And they go around to abortion clinics and stuff like that and they are attacked so bad because like they pull up this hypocrisy and they're showing people like, look, this is what it really is. You guys you're not paying attention to what they're saying out in the open, and nobody is, because it's BLM. They don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, and they want to just cower to these people. And like, I'm not comfortable with an organization that big that has that much money saying they want to off white people. I'm not comfortable with that.
But if
To
you don't
touch
know
on that,
anything, if you don't know anything about the company, I mean, like, and all you hear is like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter." It's like, who's gonna disagree with that? Of course, Black Lives Matter, and
Yeah,
they're just
everyone
saying it,
does.
and then they hide behind that saying with this really really sick agenda,
Well,
and
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 for
Right.
me, it's always been, it's not the BLM part, it's not the movement, it's the organization I have a problem with.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
when it turned into something disgusting.
Right.
And to
Well,
touch
there's
on Willie's
greed.
point here is we will never be equal until that word is used by everybody or gone.
Right. Well, you can't. I mean, I was just on the portal today, the Facebook portal today, and a Walmart came up and it said Black Ran or something. And it's like, you know, equality is important, absolutely. Diversity is also important, and tolerance of another's race is very important too. But you will never in a million years see White Ran or White Lives Matter or anything like that. Like, come on, like that is
No.
creating such a division, and it's creating everything that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did. It's erasing everything,
And the
and
last, oh, sorry,
it's creating modern day segregation, and it's fucked
it
up,
is.
and I don't like it one bit. I think it's bullshit.
And the last time we saw that was in Germany
You
in the
Nazi
30s.
Germany, yeah.
That's the last time we've seen that, where they literally had to have, you know, Jew written out on their businesses. They had to wear a necklace. I mean, they're talking about giving people the, special little necklace for getting the juice, or whatever. And it's
Wow.
like, no, 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 we're not repeating this.
Well, if it were up to, I think the leaders of today, I think that they don't mind with history repeating itself. I think the coronavirus was released as a means of population control, and then to make the pharmaceutical companies hella money because they're all in the politicians' pockets, and vice versa. And with the opioid crisis and the big pharma getting shut down with the opioids, how can we make a ton of money besides insulin? That people, if they can't afford it, they're going to die. I mean, there's more pressing issues in the world than just race. Like what I was just talking about, diabetics. You do know how much insulin or
Oh yeah,
just an EpiPen,
both
I
my
do,
kids,
because
both my kids
I work
are
medical and
diabetic.
pharmacy. So yeah, I know exactly how
Yeah.
much they cost.
So that's gonna be brushed under the rug. Anything that's really important, like the homelessness crisis, the veterans who we shouldn't even say homeless veteran ever. That should never come out of
Nope,
anybody's mouth because
we
our
should not be
veterans should be
losing
right.
22 a day
22 of
to
them a
suicide.
day. Right. Now that's okay. That's going to be swept under the rug because race is more important. And if anybody can sit there and say that race is the race is there's no equality, there's no equality. Goddamn right, there's not. There's no equality today. No,
Facts,
it's
Red.
complete. It's absolutely fucked up, and there's a divide on purpose. And what they honestly, people need to say, okay, I've had enough of this division. We need to stand the fuck together and start holding the politicians like responsible for what the fuck they are letting fall by the wayside.
It goes back to my little speech I did at the beginning. Jen, you're going to have to listen to that. I did a fun little speech. And then Skull summed it up in a couple words. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I had this.
They're not. They to be fair, Kat, they weren't as nice as your words. So.
Aw, see, a little retribution there.
But the whole thing is that you can't be hypocritical. So a lot of these issues are all or nothings, right? And the reason I say that is because you cannot stand on your soapbox and you can't talk about equality, and then you can only achieve equality if you tear down someone else. What you're asking
Right.
for is for everyone else to stand behind you and lift you up. You're not asking them to tear someone else down, because that's what happened in these cases to you. So if you want equality because someone's lifting you up, I'm cool with that. If you want
Right.
equality by tearing someone down to be below you, then you're the hypocrite. And what you're saying no longer matters to me. I don't want to
Right.
hear it. And I have the right to say, okay, cool, and click away or go somewhere else or not speak. I don't need to talk about that with somebody who is a hypocrite. I don't like that. And actually, just FYI, Annette is correct. $500,000 a year for the medicine her kids and her need. That's a fact. Her
Really?
children have some serious health issues, and she's been fighting that like a boss for a long time. She's a single
Good
mom.
job.
She's my bestest friend from when I was like 16 years old. So I'm just letting you know, she's not kidding.
How is that? That's mind blowing. How do they get
That's
away with
because our
charging people
healthcare
that?
sucks. Our healthcare industry sucks. You know, it really does. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about socialism or not, but if you look at like Norway and all the socialist ran countries, they have free healthcare, free college, you know, and it's all about basic human rights over there. So, you know, I feel like the basic human rights of this country has just fell off the map.
Well, see, and on that note, I actually think that there is a way that they could do it that could not, again, lift people up without tearing anybody else down. And what they've done is, we are not stupid, and we know for a fact that it's going to tear other people down, make other people pay for it. It's not like everybody's pitching in. It's people saying, I'm contributing nothing, and just give it to me. And then there's other
Right.
people that are saying, well, I'm paying the entire bill and I get more bills versus getting anything. I don't get anything for that. And it's not. Either you take away what you get for it and just everybody pitches in on one side, or on the other side, you know, you just, if you don't, I don't know how to put that. I worked in healthcare for a long time. I worked in medical. I worked in pharmacy. I worked with insurances for a very long time. And the moment that like Obamacare hit, I saw everything go crazy.
Oh, my parents, I'm gonna tell you what, you're right, because my parents went from paying like it was $250 or something a month for both of them to $800 a month under Obamacare.
Yep.
So, you know, as I don't even know, like this country is so fucked. And there's these people who are claiming to be woke. No, you're sleep as the next fucking person on, it's, if you were really awake and seeing what was really going on, the big picture of it, not with this diversion tactic that you know the politicians and the media have drummed up, you would say, you know what, I'm not contributing to this at all. This is ridiculous. Like the people that want reparations, I'm just going to say it how it is. Honestly, I am. You did not suffer that. And now if you did, bet your ass you should get paid. And the people who are modern day slaves and they are perpetrators are caught, you do get reparations for that. You get money from victims of crime. Now, that is exactly what you called it. It's easy money, and it's people just looking for a goddamn handout, you know? No, that's not how the world works. You can't just demand something that happened. Well, how long ago was that? 1896 it was abolished, right? So we're looking at over 100 years, 120 years ago. 100 what? Maybe more, right? I can't do math. I fucking suck.
On a different note, though, on a kind of a completely different topic regarding that, we've actually destroyed everything that we were proud of after World War II, after this, that, and the other.
Right.
We've destroyed all of it, the morality, we've destroyed the values,
Yeah.
we've destroyed our political system, we've destroyed it. Just, I think that people just have it too freaking good. And don't get me wrong, I want to have it good. I'm not
Fuck, me
lying.
too.
Of course I want, everybody does, but then I want it to be good because this is a silly comparison. Maybe it's not that silly.
Ah, girls, stop.
Their dog's going crazy.
Jeez, I
Yeah.
thought you were getting attacked.
No, my dogs. Freya, knock it off. We've
But
got
it's-
a battle of the sexes here. Come on now.
I want
That's enough.
subscribers that appreciate the content, appreciate me as a person, Skulls as a person, the people that we bring on as guests as people that appreciate the conversations that we have, that like being in the Discord, because there's just good people there, period. Like, that's what I've done everything and put everything into. I don't want people, if someone's like, look, if you say this, I'll get this person in and they're going to donate money. Fuck off with that. Like, no, I'm good.
Right.
I don't need that. I had somebody say to me the other day, well, you need to do more promotion longer term
Golly.
so that you can pull in the subscribers of larger channels. For example, Jen, you have over 100,000 subscribers.
Right.
I need to make sure that if you're going to be on here, that I do more promotion so I can pull in your subscribers, get those donations and those subs. No, I don't. No,
No,
I don't.
I say it all the time.
Nope.
You know, and no, you don't. You be yourself. You don't have to. This is my whole thing. I'm gonna tell you what. As soon as somebody tells me what to do, I rebel, and I say, "I'm gonna just be myself." How about that?
Well, that's like the
Working
same.
out pretty good.
It's a kind of supposed to be a parallel to, like, I want to work for it. I want to earn people's attention and their trust and their subscription and their, their views and all of that based on the content and what I put out there and the conversation and me. I want it to be that. I don't want to piggyback off of other people's success. Like, well, you have money, your subscribers like to pay you, so let's get them in here so they can pay me. I'm not about that. And that is here on this platform. It's in Discord, it's in real life, it's everywhere. That's just my philosophy, and a lot of us feel that way. We support people we support because we want to and not because we have to. Like, we don't make demands of people that are outrageous. We don't, like, but then so when you have people coming at us and, like, in the real world, I'm not saying this isn't the real world, we're real people, but when they're like, give me something, for what? For nothing? For just being a person that got born? Like, you had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with you. So why should you get something for doing nothing, and why should I pay for it? Like, that's how I feel about it. And I'm saying I just compared it to like this, but that's how I feel. And it's not it's not a statement I make lightly. It's it's a core value of mine. Now, I'm not saying I do great. I make mistakes. I screw up. Ask my mom.
You're human.
Exactly. I have to, like, be like, Mom, help me out. Like, I do. I still do. I'm an old person who's, like, still a kid, whatever.
Right.
But the fact is that my intention is to create a platform where people can speak their opinions and not get ostracized for them, or come here and say, look, you know what, I don't agree. I do think that in this case, these people deserve to have, okay, cool. I get that. And you can believe that. I don't have to agree with you, but that's cool.
Right. That's the problem of the world today, though. That's exactly. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the problem of the world today. No one is free to have their own damn opinion without everybody else getting their panties in a wad if you don't agree with them, or if they can't sway you to believe everything. Like, I'm sorry, but the last time I checked, I'm an individual human being with individual feelings and emotions, and I'm not a carbon copy of somebody else. So, and I try my damnedest to get people to wake up to, like, hey, listen, it's okay if somebody does not agree with you. That's perfectly normal. It's called a debate, and you can have a healthy debate, and and at the end shake hands, and but the world today is so just, I have no clue if the Tide Pods had something to do with it, snorting the condoms. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But, like, seriously, we have got to just come together and say, okay, we are all equal. We shouldn't be look, we all bleed red. So that's bottom line. We are one race, the human race, because we're all Americans. We live here. Like, unless you have immigrated yourself, like me, I can't say I'm Italian American. I'm American. I was born here. So that's how it should be. And it should be like, okay, if you have your opinion, cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you having your own opinion, and we still be friends. Because even with the politics and everything else going on in the world, people have lost family members, they've lost friends over the vaccine, everything. It's absolute pandemonium. And you're right. We've ruined every fucking thing. Everything in progression that all this progression that we've made is now, it's fucked. We took 1,000 steps backwards.
Darth Meow. Meow. You did it. That was it. There you go. Mic drop. The internet happened. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Social media.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because I have, and I can see it. I can literally see it. Like when a random teenager talks to me and is like, you need to hear what I'm saying. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because guess what?
Yeah, right.
You're a teenager and I'm the parent. That's the way it is. Sorry.
Ooh, you just got thrown under the bus and ran over.
I'm just saying,
Sorry,
like,
little one.
it's the whole, you have to hear me. No, I don't. You are allowed now to speak your piece, to say your opinion, to post it, and with no repercussions, well, within reason. You have that ability now. So the point is that in real life, people forgot how to interact with each other and how to not, what's the word? Like, I tell certain random people all the time, if you wouldn't say that to someone's face, because they would knock your teeth out. If you go out in the world like this, it's going to be a bad situation because you don't talk to people. But on the internet, you can talk to people some type of way. And I hope that my persona, which, to be honest, is a hands down, I don't think anyone could say it's any different than I am on text, on a phone call, in person, except with my mom, I am nicer. Like, aside from that, like, and my kids, which I try to be more nice to them as well, within reason. I'm the same person, but their persona online, like, people they turn into these trolly, hateful, psychopathic jerks. And they think that you have to hear them talk shit on. Block them. No. People are
absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't you start.
Marco, I want to so bad.
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous, and it feeds into this entitlement crap that people have, where they feel like it's owed to them, that their opinion matters more than yours, but yet yours can't matter more than theirs. And it's like, well, wait a minute, how come it doesn't go both ways? It's hypocritical, it's double standard, it's ridiculous. And then somehow these teeny boppers are running the fucking world on the internet. They're getting,
man, scary.
They have nothing else to do. They're on TikTok. They're listening to the song 35 times because it's talking about stuff they're not supposed to be doing at that age, right? And all of a sudden, they come in, it just trickles down. And then all of a sudden, people who say, hey, come on here and say what you want to say, their channel, gone.
Yep. And that's a big thing is people are so used to be able to just run their mouths, they forgot what it's like to get punched in the face when they say the wrong thing to somebody.
Disclaimer, I'm not promoting violence in any way.
No,
However,
it's great. It's great. Get punched in the face. It'll fix
Fuck
you.
yeah.
It'll
We'll knock
like,
some sense into you.
for real. It's one of the most humbling things ever. And
it really is.
Honestly, I wish I'd been punched in the face more.
God, I don't. I've been punched in the face way too much.
You want to fly to Texas? I mean, I could arrange that for you.
Yeah.
I've been hit in the face a few times, and I don't know. Like, there's this sense of clarity afterwards.
But
It's
you think
like-
twice the next time you go to do that, you're going, oh, wait a second. Last time I did that, I got hit in the face, didn't feel too good. Wait a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or just like maybe I was wrong, or maybe I can adjust something in the way I went about that situation, and I could be more accommodating to others. Like it literally knocks sense into you.
I
It's
wish they could write a prescription for people to get punched in the face because the world is so messed up today that everybody's thinking they think it's okay. They think that walking around
Jen, it's
thinking,
consequence. That's the word.
Right.
There's no
And we
yes,
consequences for doing shit online and saying things that are disgusting, vile, rude, hateful, disrespectful. The parents don't step in, the platforms don't step in. Oh, wait, unless it's disrespecting the platform or disrespecting someone who has their panties in a wad. Like, that's legit the only time there are consequences, and it's swift and it's hardcore, and it's always, ironically, and now I'd love to have somebody on that had this happen to them that is on the, for lack of a better way to put it, the other side. So not on a conservative side, but on a more liberal side that is like, I've been shut down because apparently I'm not allowed to say this, that, or the other. Please.
I don't think you will though.
But if there
I
is
think
one, if
that
anyone knows one, anyone listening in the future, anyone listening now, if you know of someone, please hit me up. I would love to talk to them. I really do, because it seems very one-sided. And that's the problem, is because it is so one-sided that these kids, these young adults, these preteens, these like 20-somethings feel like, well, I'm going to be the bad guy unless I agree with this. And then they're so used to falling in with the status quo, they just kind of jump into that until they wake up. And most of them are
or the
sleeping.
teachers though. Look at the teachers that are teaching our kids nowadays too though. Like, man, anything like that I was taught in school is not taught anymore. Like it's all messed up and it's all more liberal. Like it leaning left leaning, and it's like, dude, our children should not know anything about race. Our children shouldn't know anything about this bullshit that you guys are spewing. Like, our borders need to be protected. Like, I can't just go over to Canada. I can't even go to Canada and be like, yo, I want to come in. They're going to be like, you got a passport? You got this? You got that? What are you doing here? How long will you be here? There's a process. And, our like my kid, I want to homeschool him so bad because I don't want my son to see difference of people. Because as of right now, he's not in school. So he plays with all kinds of kids. Color he don't see. He don't see it. And it's not, I firmly believe that children learn that from the damn teachers and the adults and social media and all that. And like, I'm petrified. I don't want my son growing up seeing differences in people just because of the color of their skin.
I had
No,
somebody
not at
very
all.
close to me, like super duper close. I'm not going to say who it was. Super close to me. I was so disappointed. They told me that the families have no reason. It's not their place to teach what the kids need to know. That belongs to the school. That's what legislation is for. They said that, and I said, no. I said, ABC 1, 2, 3. That's what schools are for. And then when it comes to interactions, values, all of that, that belongs in the community, in your family,
Parents,
in your
right?
church, whatever you choose to do. Like, that's just how it is. People are diverse. They come up different ways, right? And they're like, no, that's what legislation. If you have a problem with what they're being taught, because the whole subject started with like drag queens reading stories to kids, and I'm like,
No, that
they
guy
don't.
was a sex offender. That's the
I'm
problem.
I'm saying, as a general statement, it was
Right,
a conversation that I had on the phone, and I said, and this person is somebody very, 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 very close to me, and it just broke my heart, because I'm like, so literally being raised by your family and the values that your family have, like, it no longer, the point is that is no longer, the family unit means nothing anymore.
No,
Nope, they
nuclear
took that
family.
away from us.
The nuclear family is seen as a evil thing that I love women. I love that I am a woman. I love that I've struggled through a lot and endured it and persevered. But I am as old-fashioned morality as they and moral wise as they come, because I believe in a nuclear family. I've always wanted my boys to have mom and dad. Unfortunately, I picked the wrong partners. But
I feel that.
children, right? Children, they man, just the morals that used to be, and like you said, like you get your lessons, your love and your compassion and whatnot from family or churches, whatever. And the learning from school, your algebra, your basic, they should teach kids how to, when I was a kid, we balanced checkbooks, we did the stock market, we did all kinds of stuff, we did debates, we learned geography, even though I'm really bad at that, and math I'm really bad at. But it's nothing like it once was, and
No,
they're pressing these issues that don't need to be pressed. Like our children, I know I'm stuck on that whole race thing, but my child does not need to number one, to see difference in color of people, or he doesn't need to grow up thinking that he is this demon because he's a white male.
exactly. We
Honey,
all
my hair's not done.
we're all the same. I mean, we bleed the same. Our organs work the same. We're the same. The only difference is some of us have a darker pigment,
Right, that's
and
all.
And ironically, the thing is like, okay, so I'm reading the comment, or reading the chat, and I see that, there's homeschool. Of course, homeschool would be ideal for most people, right? Except for people that, they're like, oh my God, I need a break. And then you find a way to have a break. But Sarah says private school if you can afford it. That's the thing. If I have my way, my youngest is going to be in a private school, a Christian school specifically, if I can make that happen. Now, it's expensive, but then you have people that are single moms, single dads, they work full time. Like, I might
There, look.
I might work from
I
home,
understand.
but I have to make sure that I'm paying attention to work. I can't be interrupted every 10, 15, 20 minutes. I kind of do quiet. I put my headphones on. I watch a show while I'm working, whatever. But I'm not being interrupted constantly. That's the
Watch out, buddy.
difference. And so affording private school is something that I have to make some major changes in my life in order to be able to possibly do that. And so it's not feasible for everyone. But because I don't want my kids to grow up to be assholes, where's my free money to put my kids in a school where I think they're not going to be an asshole? Like, why do I have to put them in where they get treated like crap? Like, I don't understand. I just think that people overstep way too far.
Oh yeah, and then the government, they've deliberately done this to take the family unit apart, and the schools are now teaching our kids everything
I'm on the phone.
and exactly how we don't want them to be. You know, they're
Welcome to real life with having kids while you're trying to be live.
pretty much.
Speaking of, do you hear my tiny terrorist up? My tiny terrorist is crying. He's fake crying. Stop fake crying, boy. Nah, I agree. I wish we could. He is. He's a tiny little terrorist.
Allahu
Yeah.
Akbar.
I call my
He's-
boys terroristas.
You are. I think private school is a great idea. Looking better every day. I was gonna say homeschool, but like I don't want him home all day with me.
Shit, I am right there with you. I love my kids to pieces. I do. But oh my God. Like, the problem with homeschool, with me working full time from home at this point, is I can't stop and go over there and, like, okay, let me stop what I'm doing in the middle of, like, this complicated thing that I'm doing. And okay, let me go help you with, drawing a. She's way beyond drawing a square, but you get the point. Like, I just can't. And so then it would all literally be outside of my work hours. And it's like, if you can put them into a school that will help them grow and be better people, that's the better choice, in my opinion.
I agree.
Stop the fake crying, you tiny terrorists, is what Todd said.
That's him all day. I agree with you, Kat. I think that, the children need core values and beliefs. And if it is, hey, listen, put the fear of God in them, cool. I'm cool with that. And what sucks about homeschooling is that what happens when these kids want to go to college? They have no scholarships. They have, it's a catch-22. It's like either you want, and I want my child safe, where, we had a school shooting here in Chardon. And, a bunch of my mother's friends, their kids were killed, and
Oh man.
it rocked our community pretty bad, and the trial was crazy because this kid was just a brazen jerk. And it's either you want your kids safe because you don't want there to be a mass shooting, and or you jeopardize their future by homeschooling them, because then what do they do when they want to go to college, and that's, and you do know, like when we were talking about earlier, like what can we do to fix this, and where do we begin to fix all of this, and that they can fix this, all of these problems that are going on. The politicians have the absolute power to do that. Like Joe Biden right now, he can erase student loan debt with the sign of his pen. That's all it would take. That's it. Just his signature. But
He'd rather send out 30 million and
military
yeah,
trillions of dollars to the war in Afghanistan.
I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
talking about crack pipes right now.
yeah.
I
The
don't think that's ever gonna like get better though. Like even if he paid it off, like that would come back. Like people would still get back into debt. Like we need to just get rid of student loans and just have it like it was,
Absolutely.
because then it would go back to the point where tuition costs would just plummet. I mean, the
Right.
whole reason why they spiked up so high was because of student loans.
Yep.
Banks were required to give out these loans to people with no credit history, and so schools jacked up tuition costs.
Yeah,
So
my
get
son's
rid of tuition. So get rid of
Yeah.
that, and then I'm all on board. Then yeah, like wipe out the tuition. Like fuck it, do it. But
Well,
until
Germany,
that
you have
whole
free
plug-
college.
But
What?
Go to
that's the
college.
thing.
You can go to college in Germany for free, because several countries in Europe,
yeah.
But that's the thing, though, is I get
Yeah.
what he's saying, because what he's
And-
saying is that if you take away the incentive for them to jack up the prices, people can't
Yeah.
afford to pay out of pocket tuition, right? They can't afford it, and so those prices are going to plummet because the only people who can go are people that have the means to do so. So it'll take a little while, but eventually you're only going to have rich people that are going to college, but then you're not going to be able to only hire rich people ever. That's not going to happen. So either you take people that don't have degrees, or you fix that and you drop, because they're not going to have that kind of income, because even they still have those rich people now.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I'm
I
still
worry
paying
about-
off a loan from 2003, and I never finished college. Every time, I'm telling you, I don't go to college, and there's a reason for it. Every time I do, I go to the gym, I go to college, I go to better my life. I had kid every time. 3 times I tried, never again. Not doing it.
Don't you go back applying for college. You're going to have another one.
No, I'm not. Unless it's an immaculate conception, and guess what? I'm getting paid for that. Okay.
And yeah, like I think I prefer like people being able to pay for it out of pocket, because I don't trust the government. Like I worry about socialism because I don't trust our government to use the money correctly. I just don't.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
have
Yeah,
not
they're-
shown me any reliability or anything. Like they're just so incompetent. They're
Look how
so
long it took for them to
Dan?
tell us aliens were real. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm whooping your ass after this.
Oh, I knew for years.
I did too. I knew it. I was like, that Fourth Kind movie got me by the boo boo. I said, no, fuck no. All right,
I
never going to
agree.
Nome, Alaska. I will never go to Nome, Alaska ever. No, thank you. No, I just think like you hit it on the head with that, because you hit them in the wallet where it counts, right? Then they have no other choice. But like my son, there's a little story real quick for you guys. My son goes to a $26,000 a year college, the University of Cincinnati, because he wants to be a mechanical engineer. Now, this is a 5-year program, right? That's $26K a year. And that's not including room and board. That's not including parking. That cost me $450 just for one semester, by the way. Effed up, right? And I'm telling you what, I went to go pick him up, because before he brought his car down there and we paid for the parking, I had to go back and forth to get him. And it's 5 hours for me, nearly about 4.5 hours for me. So we went out to eat, and because I had my little one and I had my 18-year-old, and there was a kid at this restaurant, right? and we were just chatting it up. You know, he ended up dropping the food on the floor. He was so apologetic. Such a sweet kid, right? I'm like, and I was like, hey, so do you go to school here? You know, at Cincinnati. He goes, I used to. He goes, I had to drop out because I can't afford the tuition. And it broke my fucking heart so bad. I didn't even give a shit that he dropped the food and that it took fucking like 80 minutes to get our food. I didn't care. You know, I felt so bad for this kid who had to drop out of school because he couldn't afford it. That hurt me. So I left the kid $50 tip. I don't care. I was like, Here, you know, I know it's not this drop in the bucket, kid, because he's working his ass off to pay, you know, to save up money so he can go back to maybe a cheaper school. But that's sad. It's sad.
No,
It,
It
I
is.
agree, especially like we should be prioritizing people who are trying to better themselves in this country, you know?
yeah.
And and like I guess like it's mostly about like how do we prioritize, how do we reorganize these programs to do that?
Well,
And
they have
I
a
don't
big diversion technique going on. That agenda right now is a distraction technique. I firmly believe it. It might be a conspiracy theory, whatever, but I think that the whole race divide thing. I think this is a diversion technique, so we don't come together and stand up and say we need these uh, issues addressed.
And full
You know.
circle, we come back to the topic because people that tend to talk about and speak on and consistently speak on these issues and say, look, how can we fix this? And we don't agree with this and we think something needs to be done, get shut down.
Or
Yep.
worse, they're called like I have a couple there was a couple reactors that people of color that did reactions to the everything's gonna be all right, all white or whatever. It's such a stupid thing anyways, the title. So dumb. And you know, they had a lot of support from, you know, from white people and saying, you know, thank you for standing up, thank you for not being sheep, thank you for not, you know, for standing up for this, you know. And then there was a couple where the people were even talking about, you know, they're being called coons and everything. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Bootlickers, coons, all this, and it's Jim Crow and all this shit. It's like, no, we're sick of the divide. Everybody is. And I'm praying like fuck that there is that shift sometime soon where people say that, listen, I've had enough, but you're gonna be canceled if you do, or called out your name. Come on, that's disrespectful as fuck. Because somebody doesn't agree with that agenda and somebody says, I'm sick of this, this is wrong, it's wrong, let's fix this. No, they're called out of their name. It's so disheartening. I'm like, I can't believe the way the world treats one another today. I can't.
So
yeah.
my question is, what about people, for example, that have, you know, a white mom and a black dad, or a black mom and a white dad? Like, you know, what about the mixed races who have somebody that's, you know, Syrian and, you know, one of the parents is white? Let me just make that easy. One of the parents is white. No matter which one it is, doesn't matter what anything else is. So these children go into schools and they hear about, you know, horrible, horrible things. And so it's like, okay, well, oh, I have to be on board with this because I have some type of ethnicity that might jump me into that category. But on the flip side, so do I ostracize my parent who is, you know, white, with no matter who they are, or my family member, no
Right.
matter how much removed that they are. It's causing divides inside of family. It's just, why do
It
people,
is.
it's like, so, okay, so here's the thing. So people have it, right? In general, as a rule, so good in this world, in our country right now. They have it so well. They have to come up with problems to bitch about. Like, you're so bored because you don't have any strife or stress in your life that you have to bitch about something. You have to find a reason to be mad. Like, does that make you a better person because you mad? Ooh, you mad. Whoopie fucking
Yeah,
do.
I ain't scared, by the
Like,
way.
come on. Like,
Like, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of what somebody's gonna say to me over the internet. Are you kidding me? Like, 9 times out of 10, whatever you see online, they're not gonna say it to your face. They're not.
Oh no, no. It's too much
they can
internet
try.
warriors.
Oh, sure, go
Internet
ahead.
gangsters.
Make me break a nail. Go ahead, let's do this. You could take the girl out
Threaten
of the
me with a
prison, but
good
you gotta
time.
keep
Come
the
on.
prison out of the girl.
I take the weave off and
If you look at the chat, since Dan's gotten in here, he's been taking shots at me the whole time. Do I care?
He
No.
has. He really
I didn't
has.
want
It's kind of funny though.
It is. But that's what I'm around all the time. And him and Joe, they're my brothers, but that's all we do. We talk trash to each other. And we say some pretty horrific things to each other too. But
You don't go cry about it, do you, and report it to the platform, right? Like you
all
don't go
the time.
complain. Are you gonna leave a comment later and be like, this was the worst guest appearance I've ever done in my life because people were mean to me and I have to go cry.
They forgot
to put on my
big boy pants. Boop, boop, boop.
But
Damn.
it's like people need to get over themselves with that and grows, thicken up.
Big balls
you know,
and thick skin. That's what it's
thick
called.
skin, yes.
Big
Yeah,
balls
my-
and thick skin.
My grandma used to say to me, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me." Like it's like the world is so overtly offended by anything and everything. Like if the wind blows their hair a different way, they're offended. If you don't agree with them, they're offended. If you don't agree with this or that or whatever community standards, they're offended. It's like motherfucker. I'm offended by all of you motherfuckers being so offended. How about that?
Yep.
It's like,
I'm offended because you're offended that I'm offended about you being offended.
yeah,
It's like, come on, people.
it
But-
really is goofy.
In all honesty, the thing is that it seems to be the people that have platforms where they welcome different opinions and they don't within their own content censor people's opinions. And honestly, it does tend to lean to the right. Like, don't even pretend like that's not the case. But the fact is that when people open up, like, look, please don't, not necessarily change my mind, because let's put it this way, I'm pretty hardcore in what I believe and what I don't. You're not going to change my mind. There's a 90% chance you're not going to, but you can feel free to try. But people that open the conversation and say, look, I want to talk to you. What do you want to say? What do you want to, do you believe in this? Do you not? What's your opinion? And they let people speak their mind. It tends to be those people that are more hit by the, censorship, the cancel culture, the, I don't know why it's so fun to say this, the forced context, because I'm all about, my 8-year-old knows what context is. She'll be like, Mom, context. I'm like, that's not what that means. But because I say it all the time, context is key. Like if you're having an open conversation where you welcome opinions and if people tend to have the same one, okay, fine. But if there's an alternate, that's when the test is when there's a differentiating opinion that comes into the mix. And it's like, Skulls and I don't agree on everything. You'd be surprised. We actually really don't. There are things that I'm sure that he's like, that's not really how I see it. But it doesn't matter because we can still have the conversation. And when you open up to conversation, that's against the grain. People don't want that. They don't want that to happen, because that's when people start being cohesive and working together. When they start saying, well, there is a respectful, logical, and end solution here. We could just talk about it. Oh my God, how dare we? Right?
Well,
No,
I mean, the
it's
whole point of conflict, like when you have like a problem with someone, I mean, you mostly want to confront them or do something about it because you want solution. You want to find a solution to it. You want to put it behind you. And instead, I think people look at the fact that like, oh, I'm uncomfortable about this, so they're harming me in some kind of way.
oh boo-hoo.
And yeah, exactly. And it's like
Yep.
that's where we got it wrong. We need to stop protecting people and we need to build them more to be more resilient. And I
Right,
think
because
that's
all
like
this
the
coddling
main
stuff.
yeah, I think that's the main like philosophical thing we have wrong now. It's like we really shouldn't be protecting people like that. Like you see that in colleges all the time too. Is like certain people can't come speak. I don't think Ben Shapiro can go speak at colleges. Most colleges they won't let him. But it's like even if you don't agree with them, like why are you protecting these students from life? Like, why
Well,
don't
yeah.
you let someone come speak that they might not agree with and help them become more resilient and be able to contend with things that they don't like in a healthier way?
Well, because they don't want to see it. They don't want the extreme liberals to get shut down by facts. You see, they don't want the Ben Shapiro was an extremely intelligent, intellectual, just professional man who doesn't he doesn't argue, he doesn't name call, he calls it what it is, and he is real, and he hits people with stone cold facts, and they don't want that. It's like, man, like the truth is so hidden, being real is so hidden. Like, for instance, I did Dax propaganda, and then I followed it with a Tom McDonald video. Do you know that I had to put my Dax propaganda as unlisted for my the new Tom McDonald video that I did after that to hit the algorithm? Because I didn't get but three views in like 3 hours. As soon as I hit unlisted on Dax propaganda, all hell broke loose. It was like a floodgate opened, views
Oh
galore.
yeah.
I
Well,
was
it's like,
like,
oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Like my old channel. The reason it took as long as it did for me to get to where I was, YouTube would not push my content, period, because of the name Hillbilly.
Oh my God.
Then add on top the content I typically did, being all independent artist, because I don't do mainstream, period.
Right.
So add that on top, and yeah, I think I had one Tom McDonald video that took off, and it had, I think, capped out like 23K views.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. How many subscribers did you have before they shut you down?
It's up to almost 4K, I think, just over.
I can't even, man. That's messed up. That's really messed up that they did you
That
like
first-
that.
That first 5,000's really hard to get too.
Oh God, it is.
Yeah.
I am doing laps every time. I'm like, there's another one, yay! And what
Yeah,
the ones, I'm not gonna lie to you, the ones
No,
that get
baby.
me the most are the
Hi.
ones that happen when it's just a normal day. I'm working and I see the count go up. I'm like, whoa, someone clicked on it for some type of reason. No context. I don't know why they did. I don't know if they came from another channel, and they clicked it and they decided to subscribe, which means they were listening to this podcast after the fact, and they decided it was where they wanted to be. And those, honestly, as much as I love all y'all, and please don't I don't have to do a disclaimer, y'all know better. I appreciate the people that are here, but on the flip side, having someone new come in and hear what we're talking about and want to be part of the community means the world. I watch the count go up a little bit, and I'm like, oh my God, people are clicking when we're not live. I thought the only way is going to be when we're live, because I don't do Skulls and I don't. Well, he does reactions on his channel. The link is below, but I don't do reactions, and I don't have any intention whatsoever, unless Bailey finally ropes me into it at some point, because she thinks it's rude that I'm a YouTuber and she can't be on the reaction with me. And I'm like, I don't do reactions. She's like, but still, like, really, but still. Aside from that, that's never going to happen. So I'm not going to have that content that you're going to see the video and see my face, and I'm making, I'm not going to be doing that. So I don't have the expectation of the views skyrocketing in that manner. But to have anybody that pops in, it's like, I'm only at what, like 160 something at this point? I don't even know. I have to go look.
We were at 120 like a couple days ago, girl. So that ain't too shabby.
171 right now.
171.
171.
Girl.
Every single one of them, I feel like, is a real person, is really interested, because they clicked not when it was like a video, I like Tom McDonald, so I'm going to click it, or I like NF, so I'm going to click it. And I'm not saying those are bad ones. I'm saying in this context, for this type of content, they had to sit here and listen to us yap, right?
Yep.
Poor souls.
Yeah.
And they
Well,
liked
Like
it.
Ursula. You poor unfortunate soul.
Yeah,
No, I think it's a great thing.
we talk to reactors and everything. So this is the place where people come for the personalities. I mean, like with my channel, I know not everyone's there for me. People are there for bands, for certain rappers or whatever. But here, people are here for us, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I think it's cool. I think
That
it's
is
cool. I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think it's perfect what you're doing and bringing other reactors. And because what it's showing the damn world is, yeah, no, we don't all agree on the same things. I mean, typically here we did, but you know, it's you know, you're gonna get those podcasts where people are not gonna agree. Like you said, you and Skulls don't agree on everything, and man, that needs to be normalized again. It
Yep.
needs to be seen as it's okay that we have differences of opinions, because like imagine the world if everybody thought the same way. They dressed the same, they acted the same, they talked the same. You know, it would, god dang, it would be boring.
It would be Equilibrium, the movie. That's what that would be.
I think the
I've
best
never
way I
seen
broke it
that.
down
Oh, you have
one
to see that
time
movie. Oh my god,
was
you have to. Like for me, I love you. Please see that movie.
I got
that is
to
a good
see it.
movie.
I've heard
But
about
the
it, but I've not seen it.
best way I broke it down
Hey.
is I'm a waffle person, you're a pancake person, right? Typically we fight. That's the narrative.
Oh
But
yeah.
why can't we be friends? Why can't we listen to each other's reasons on why I like pancakes and you like waffles or whatnot, and still sit down and share a thing of syrup?
Because they're intolerant of differences of opinions. That's teaching the world intolerance. It's teaching the world divide. And it's like a divide and conquer technique that's going on lately.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
like it, man. I don't like it.
Catering to our tribal instincts. That's what I think it is too.
By the way, I just got paid by my actual, like my 8 to 5 job, so I'm like thrilled right now. My check just hit. Let's go.
You
Spend
gave
it all.
someone a hand job. What'd you just say?
No.
The fuck you just say?
I said I got paid by my 8 to 5 job, Jen. What the hell?
I heard job and I jumped ship. I was like, what? With the conclusion, officially jumped.
I'm like, I can pay my bills. I'm so excited.
No,
Hell
what you
yeah.
typically think the movie is, Dan. Your movies are disgusting.
I'm telling you.
No, but I think that everything tends to be a circle. Okay, so in my opinion, it's like a champagne, like what, you know, where they stack the glasses, champagne fountain, where you start one spot and then it trickles down and then it causes more problems. It's like a ripple effect. It causes more issues, and now we're dealing with the aftermath of stupidity that we have done by not raising our children right, by not doing the right thing. We're getting that cancel culture, that, you know, censorship, where it's one-sided. It's not all the time. It's only if you don't agree with the status quo or what's the popular opinion right now. You know, people are scared to voice what they want to. Like, there's a million different ways to put it, but you can track it backwards to specific issues and problems that are happening, or things that people do that contribute to this behavior. And unfortunately, like, you try to go on other platforms that are supposed to be non-censored at all, and they just are. It just is, because there's not enough people on there. People, like my mom asked, why can't you go to another venue? Well, there's the reason, is because YouTube is where it's at. Unfortunately, it's like the same as going to Walmart versus driving an hour and a half to some other store that you like, right? It's the convenience. They've built it to the point where you can go live, you can talk to people, you can have your content, you can have a channel, you can have subscribers. It's the convenience of the platform and the application. I went on to Rumble once and I was like, I don't know about all this. Like, there was ads for like 45 seconds, 60 seconds. I'm like, God. And then I was like, wow, my attention span is so short. But I grew up in the age where there were commercials, right? There's no commercials for kids anymore. It's all you catch my interest at this moment, and the way to do that is with shock value. So the moment you do that is like someone's being oppressed, they're like, oh my god, we gotta fix this. Like, and they go crazy and they don't even watch 30 minutes of information and background and context. They don't see that. They see the 15 seconds of someone saying that they've been done wrong and they go crazy. That's our issue right now. That's why, unfortunately, as much as I don't mind that like Tom's songs go in immediately, he's not stupid. He knows that you have to hook people right away. It's that second you're like,
No,
oh
that's
shit,
enough.
there's the song, and then you don't want to click away because you want to know where it's going, right? You take
Tom
away.
is very good at that.
No, absolutely. He's a marketing genius.
Oh, he is. He knows exactly how to capture your attention. He
Watch out,
even
sorry.
goes through a few first bars that he's already written down. Find that right one that's going to automatically grab somebody's attention and go, okay, now I need to hear what he's saying.
I think Tom McDonald's brilliant.
And then add in his wrestling background. That right there just makes him absolutely the marketing king right there.
Actually, I'm gonna counter that with Ad Nova.
Yeah.
Mic
Nova
drop.
too.
That's it. Mic drop. Ad Nova. All you need
Yep.
is, Tom's charisma, because that's what he has. He has charisma. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what he does or what he says. He has fucking charisma. You can literally watch him on his stories, be like, buy the video,
He
buy
can
the
make
song,
you
get the
hate
album.
him with a smile.
And you're not mad at him, right? It's like, okay, that's the 30th time, but okay, cool. But then you get his videos with Nova in charge, and it is so seamless that the combination you just can't do you can't do anything else but appreciate. Like, if you appreciate nothing else, you appreciate the videos that come out with the songs. That's why we're all like, please do this song. And then I always go back to one of his songs on one of his new albums, which is called STFU, Shut the Fuck Up. I love that one because it's such a middle finger to the idiot fans that are like, do what I want because I like it, but don't do that. No, but do it this, but no, don't do that. And no, I don't like that either. And it's like, ugh. Because do not get it twisted. People that are Tom fans, people that are Adam Calhoun fans, people that are whoever fans, Ryan Upchurch fans, they are just as much as stanny and trolly and crazy and demanding as any other fans. Like, don't
Tell
even
me
think
about
they're
it.
not.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
you're right.
I'm a huge troll. I will troll the hell out of people. But I'm a fun troll. Until you piss me off, and then I take you and bend you over like Ron Jeremy in the 80s. But, it's that's how I am.
It's like having a dwarf approach you all slowly and like looking at you sideways. It's like, no, wait, what's just happening right now?
That's how you shut me up. I was like, wait, what?
He just pulled Ron Jeremy into the conversation. Let's go.
Oh God, you want to hear about my Ron Jeremy story, you guys?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, I'll show you pictures. I actually have
Your pictures? What?
Here's the thing. So there was a music venue down the street from my house, and my ex, I brought him out to my neck of the woods. He hooked up with this music venue because it was under construction. He just walked in one day, and so they asked him to be the manager of this new music venue that was coming in. Long story short, they started doing shows there, like midget wrestling and all this and that. Bands, Mushroom Head played there. I punched the dude in the face. And then Ron Jeremy did a comedy.
Oh, what happened? Hello?
I think Ron Jeremy did a comedy show and it killed the chat.
She got taken out. I don't know what that was about.
Ron Jeremy's like, nope. We don't talk about this is Fight Club. We don't talk about Comedy Club. Like, that's it.
First rule of Comedy Club: we do not talk about Comedy Club. Jen's been canceled.
But it wasn't us. I promise. I think. Let me check.
You should invite her back in. I'm really curious about this story.
Oh, Madam Red, hey. I didn't know you joined the Discord. What's up?
Adam
Red's
Red.
awesome.
No, she's out. Like, she went offline. Okay.
I wonder what happened.
We will have to address that at a different time. Apparently, she's like,
To be continued.
but if she really was doing her hair, she probably had a time limit on that. And I think she passed it by like half an hour or 45 minutes. I'm not sure, but, you know, I take no responsibility if her hair falls out. So don't hate me.
I'm
You heard
so
nothing,
mad. I
Dan.
wanted to know.
I know.
I wanted to hear that story. God damn it.
Most of us know who Ron Jeremy is.
I think everyone does. Unfortunately.
I know, right?
Oh,
Did we lose me?
Yes, we lost you.
Yeah.
We were dying. We want to know the end of the story.
We thought you got canceled.
I must have. So
Canceled
Ron
her-
Jeremy, did you guys hear me when I said that I have pictures of him forcefully kissing my acquaintance?
You're what?
You're white.
One of the acquaintances I know, he forced his tongue down her throat. I snapped a picture of it. And we were forced to take him to a strip club where he was actually very aggressive to some of the patrons at the music venue and the strip club. And then he got knocked for the rape shit.
Ew.
I believe it. I think anyone, like, I mean, like, even like Hugh Hefner, shit's coming out about him too. It's like anybody
Gross.
in that field's kind of fucking
Okay,
gross and
you did not
gross.
see Hugh Hefner's. What was that show he was on that had like all those those girls on it? You cannot.
The girls next door.
Yeah, that one. You cannot tell me that there was not something like as close to trafficking as humanly possible in that whole scenario. Like, they were not there because they're like, oh God, yes, I love him. No, come on now. Like, none of us are stupid, but you know.
They went there in hopes of becoming one of his girlfriends so they can live in his mansion, get the Mercedes, get everything else. And believe me, no girl in their right minds didn't know what a pervert Hugh Hefner was. The dude was 80 years old and he only dated 20-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you know damn well. So don't put yourself in that kind of position, you know?
I would cancel Hugh Hefner, but he got canceled.
He's dead.
already. I know, that's what I was trying to say.
Ultimate cancel.
It
Yeah,
is
like
the
cancel
most, this is the most unforgivable cancel. Like, if you're canceled but you're alive, you're good. Like,
To show how much I pay attention, I just found out about him dying like yesterday.
you're kidding. Like, literally yesterday or like a week or two ago.
Literally yesterday. I didn't even know he passed away.
And you're like, wait, Hugh Hefner died? Yeah, dude, like 2
Look,
years ago.
Betty White passed away, and therefore we're in the end times. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I always knew things were okay as long as Betty White was alive, because it was kind of like one of those checks, right?
Oh,
You would
dude,
just
so-
check, and they're like, they're still going. We're cool. By the way, hi, Holly.
Hey, Holly.
My night's ruined.
Hi, Holly.
I'm just saying, like, it was one of those things where it's like, I was like, as long as Betty White is still kicking, we're good. And then as soon as she passed, I'm like, apocalypse, let's go. Like, start hoarding food. We're done.
Sounding hyped about it. Let's go.
No, I'm like, well, okay, well, I had this plan in place. We gotta buy our peanut butter, toilet paper, and I have to order toilet paper. I just love it.
Ramen noodles.
I have so many ramen noodles, God. But here's the thing, if you don't, okay, so think of it this way, though. If there's no electricity, right, how are you going to heat your ramen noodles? I want to know. Let me know. Oh, wait.
Man, look, I went to
Tired.
prison for 3 years. I know exactly how.
Oh, my God. I had an ex that was in jail for a good long, not as long as you were, but enough that I got to hear about all the little fun, tweaks that they did to make things happen. And I wish he stayed longer, but anyway. And that's the thing, is that he got out in like 6 months, and you were in for how long? And he was in there for attempted murder. So, and then
Goddamn.
child support. He was
3
in there
years.
for a month for attempted murder, and like 5 months for child support.
I was in for 3 years for pimping hoes. I'm just playing. I was in there for drug possession. Almighty drug possession. I wish it was pimping and pandering. I would have only gotten 6 months.
I had the craziest story for someone in my family who went to prison.
Oh, I want to hear it.
It's so bad. So he got in a fight where where there was a knife involved, a little blade, a little shiv, and he got put into like solitary confinement for months because of it. And he hid the knife on him when he got put away. So he had to like hide it by swallowing it.
What a
And
knucklehead.
and what he had to do was
Wrap that baby.
he had to
Shit it out.
poop it out and then eat it over and over again.
Yeah,
Oh, gross.
that
Because-
story tops every one of my prison stories. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that
he
makes
was
me
in
think of
there
like
for,
a snake eating itself. What is it called? It starts with an oberus, or I can't remember the word.
I hope no one's eating right. I have a story, real quick one. I
Go
was
for it.
we had a girl come back from having birth, and the baby was not able. She was not eligible to go in the birthing program and have it was a child program, nursery program where you can have your kid up to 18 months there, nonviolent crime, blah blah blah. Well, she wasn't eligible, so she had the baby, and 24 hours later, the baby went up for adoption, and social service, whatever. She came back to prison. She had a visit a couple days later or something. I don't know. I think it was like a week later. Well, we did the old squat and cough, right? At the visitation hall, because you get strip searched in before you go into your visit and when you come out. Not like, I don't understand why going into your visit will you get, strip searched, because like they can get anything in the free world. What the hell do they want?
Was it
from inside
behind
the
the
prison?
glass though? Like
Yeah,
if it was
nothing.
in person, that probably would be
No,
why.
it was person to person.
Okay.
The only time it was through glass was if you were in the in LC, which is the long term hole. So she had just had a baby about a week prior, and we're squatting and coughing, and her complete cervix fell out like it was a prolapse.
Ow! Oh shit!
Right next to me. I said, "What the fuck is that?"
Get that back in there.
I'm like, "Oh, you might want to call and what they didn't want to call the hospital or anything. So the guard instructed this inmate to push it back up in there and continue with her visit.
Oh my fucking! Now that is some like Orange is the New Black Wentworth type shit going on right there.
Funny that you should mention that, because Piper Kerman would come to my prison, actually.
Really?
And there was a not only did she get stories for Orange is the New Black at Ohio Reformatory for Women, but she also she was there for a writing project, like to teach the ladies how, it was like a writing, like whatever, I don't even know what you call it, but yeah, Piper Kerman, look it up. It's some kind of writing class or something that she would do for the prisoners at the Ohio Reformatory for Women. Absolutely. So
Huh.
everything you see on Orange is the New Black is bullshit.
Well, duh.
98% of what happened to Piper Kerman actually, was fake on the show. So, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience, but like, I can't honestly, I dreaded every day being there. It sucked, but it made me who I am today.
Well,
If
hey,
it can show anybody that, look, man, I could be a bottom feeder, low life, junkie, criminal, basically. I can go from that and treating people like dog shit and not caring about anybody but myself and my drugs. If I can change my whole life around, my whole demeanor, my whole way of thinking, my whole way of how I treat people, how I act, anybody can. Anybody
absolutely.
can turn their life around. You just got to want to do it.
Yep.
Well, guys, before my hair falls out, I got to hop off here.
I appreciate you
So-
jumping in.
Yeah, thanks, man. You guys,
was
I
great
love what
talking
you're
with you.
doing. Oh yeah, man, I can't wait to hear your story. I'm gonna rewind it after I'm done here so I can hear your story, and then I'll if you're on Discord, I'll get with you.
He's in my Discord right now.
Okay, cool. So I'd like to hear, like, wow, I just can't. I feel so bad for you. I think that's horrible how they did you like that. So Skulls, great Nightwish reaction, by the way. Dead Boys
thank you.
poem. Good job, good job, good job.
Great
Keep
song.
it up. Oh man. Kat, I think what you're doing here is absolutely phenomenal. I think that you're showing a camaraderie because for the longest time, reactors are, a lot of them talk shit about one another, and it's not, I won't partake in that. I won't work with any reactor that does that. So what you're doing here is, I think it's, you're like a pioneer as far as bringing reactors together. I think that's wonderful.
I appreciate you. Thank you so
So-
much for all your kind words. And I saw the comment too, and I appreciate it. I really do, because like I said, this is the place where I feel like people can be reactors. They can have their own content creation and stuff like that. But this is where you can come together and just talk to each other, talk to us, talk to each other. That's what the server's for. It's all of it. So I appreciate it. I really do.
And you see how easy, like, the ebb and flow is here on this podcast? Like, it flows so awesome. Like, we don't sit there like, twiddling our thumbs, dead air. You know what I mean?
I had a dream like that the other night, that I was literally like setting up for XMC to be on here, and then I went live, and like I had it all wrong, so I had to fix it. So I had to go live again, and then I had to go live again, and then I realized that I'd fallen asleep, and I had to like wake up and like, oh my god, there's nothing happening, and it's silent. It was so bad, and I woke up and had to check all my socials and YouTube to make sure I didn't click anything.
Oh no, girl, that's just my stream from last week. Don't you remember? All right, folks. It was.
there.
Thanks for showing up, Jen. I appreciate you.
I love you guys. It's been real, man. I love this. I love this podcast. I'll be back. Don't worry.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right,
All
later.
right, bye, sweetie. Bye, guys.
Yeah, let's say it's heating up down there in the chat.
Oh, I see knives. I do. But by the way, if anybody didn't know, I'm sure y'all do, that was just Jen Reacts. She's an amazing friend, and she's an amazing reactor. She tends to lean towards metal. We're all here for that. Well, some of us are sometimes, depending on our mood. But anyway. No, but that dream was really real. And the fun fact is that I was like, Skulls isn't here. I'm doing this alone. And I was like, okay, hold on, I gotta fix this. And it was just silence. I was like, I'm such a bad podcaster.
That's just the anxiety dreams. I mean,
That's what Nick
about my
told me.
stuff.
Nick was like, welcome to being a content creator. I have that shit all the time. Or he didn't say all the time, but he was like, welcome to being a content creator. Like, you have that anxiety. I dreamed about it. Like, I had to wake up, look at my phone and be like, okay, check all the channels, check all the servers on Discord, make sure I didn't like go into a voice chat and just like, oh my god, like be weird. Good
Like a
times.
week and a half ago, I couldn't sleep. I was bored, so I decided to go live. And right in the middle of live, I apparently fell asleep. Luckily, I didn't have my cam on.
Oh,
Yeah, I woke up like 4 hours later, and I didn't even remember I was alive until I look up and I see OBS and it says still streaming. Like, wait, what? Oh crap! No.
Did you get naked, by the way? Maybe that's why.
Hey, you never know. Sleep
Now, did
streams
you-
get wild.
We will never know, unfortunately. By the
real
way, you guys,
question is, did you get any donations while you were sleeping?
No, but there was like 6 people watching when I woke up, which was really disturbing.
Like,
by the
why
way,
do
hi
I watch-
Chill Rock. I see you that you're back. I don't know if you ever left, but I appreciate you being here. And Savvy's still here. But if you guys want to subscribe to his new channel, he's starting over without the Hillbilly in his name. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't like that. So it's in the description below. I'm pointing for no apparent reason because you guys can't see it. I'm pointing
for you.
It's down
It's for
there. It's down there. Skull's channel is down there. How to support the stream is down there, as well as I'm pretty sure it's the Streamlabs and the Cash App, whatever.
I don't know why the live keeps going to top chat instead of live chat.
Has
It
it
does that
been
anytime, yeah.
has it been buffering? Because it hasn't changed for me, so I'm concerned now. Like, have we been like
No, it's for me, and like on
all
the
the time?
screen. On the screen, it's fine, but for
What's up,
me,
Chill Rock?
yeah. Oh, hey. He
Actually-
responded to me. Oh my god.
Fan yourself. It's okay. No, I appreciate everybody showing up. We're probably going to shut this down pretty soon because it's been like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I keep track of the time. We try to keep it around 2 hours, give or take, depending on the conversation. and hopefully we had the conversation we meant to, which is about, obviously cancel culture, being canceled on YouTube, the reasons that we are, and all of that fun. There's Shauna just subbed to you, Hillbilly. There you go.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Because, honestly, I think that all of us agree that that should never have happened. I did ask, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I legitimately asked, I was like, has anybody seen anything from your content that would make them think that there was any kind of reason that you could have or should have been taken down? And everyone that I did talk to said no. That some of them had been subscribed for a long time. They'd only seen a couple videos, some had seen a bunch of them, but they all said the same thing, which is that there was nothing that you had done that they believed warranted that. And I agree with Nick, where he says that he wishes that a human would actually review it and say, is this really a thing? And then actually give an explanation instead of just quoting their go-tos for things that make no sense. And so, hopefully, hey, you and I are going to rise together. You and us, me and Skulls and this podcast and everything, we're going to rise together, right? Because we're about there too. We're at that same level. So
it's I wish they would have given a little more detail and provided, some kind of evidence. But
well, that would be it. That's the thing, is it's like, can somebody not just say, look, this is what you did. This is it. This is the comment that somebody reported that said that you did something that was fucked up and that we don't like. By the way, my mother hasn't responded in a long time, so I'm assuming she's gone so I can cuss more, so that's cool.
Is it just about to come like spewing out of you now? Like the exorcism?
No. No, but in all honesty, hey up 12. And I see that there's new names in the chat, and I have a feeling that Hillbilly, they relate directly to you. I'm sure that you know who they are.
Joe, Dan, Mike, Holly.
I know Holly, so I'm claiming her because I know her from Nick's channel. Holly, what's up, girl? But no, and Joe actually is the channel that she promoted that I recognize. So I'm just saying, I'm claiming those.
The other day.
That's who I'm claiming.
Joe's my brother.
I'm claiming them.
I'm not arguing.
I appreciate y'all coming through, honestly, because any new people that are here for this kind of content that want to hear people just speaking their mind, saying what they want to say, having a conversation, it doesn't have to be a grilling session, an interview. It doesn't have to be in a specific format. It can just be people talking. Most people that have been on here absolutely love it, like Jen said. But if you don't like it, leave a comment. If you do like it, leave a comment, because the algorithm. So say whatever you want. I will let it fly. Stop telling me.
We're here for it.
I'll tell if I want to, Joe.
What we're probably going to shut down in just a minute, because honestly, it's that moment in time. And I have to get up for work in the damn morning, so I've got to it takes me a minute to come down from being all hyped up to be on here, and then I have to talk to people and say hi and all that and tell everybody I'm so sorry I wasn't there, I was busy, and then I have to go check on my kids, and then I have to go to sleep. So
and I don't feel good, and I want to feel better. So
exactly, and Skulls needs to get some sleep. Hillbilly, I can't thank you enough for showing up here, and I hope that if there anything else that you wanted to say regarding your situation or anything in general that you just wanted to throw out there, because this is your chance. Let's go.
Just comment, like, share, subscribe. I don't know.
To his channel too, by the way.
Show love to everybody.
And that's the thing. That's what it takes, is that people just talk to each other and support people that are good people. Raise them up. Don't knock them down. Honestly.
Yep. Everybody's got a story, you don't know where they're at in theirs, and just try to show some compassion and empathy. That's the big one there is empathy.
Yes, I agree.
For
And
real.
I hope that you enjoyed your time here, and I hope that you want to
I
come back
did.
at some point.
Definitely. Anytime.
Perfect. So without further ado, we're gonna end this so Skulls can get some chicken noodle soup and sleep. And he doesn't take ibuprofen, so it's gonna be acetaminophen.
Yeah, you got a little mad at me for that, it seemed.
I am all about the ibuprofen. I know there's carcinogens that are in there, but I swear by it. Anyway, you take your Tylenol, I'll take my Advil. It's all good.
Oh yeah, see, we can disagree.
Exactly. You do you, boo boo. It's okay. All right, you guys have a good night. I'm going to drop the outro screen, and please feel free to share or tell other people to hit us up. And if there's anybody you want to see on here, let me know. Join the Discord. It is in the description. Check out Hillbilly React's new channel. Check out Skull's channel. Sub to my channel. And we're out. Say bye, everybody.
See y'all
Bye.
elsewhere.
Where's the bye? Like, I want the
There it
bye.
Oh, I gotta do the bye?
Yes.
Bye.
There it is. All right, bye.